The sun rose over the Pacific Ocean, and everything looked normal. People walked along the beach. Children played in the sand. But above the sea, something strange appeared. A large shadow moved slowly across the sky. It was not a bird, not a plane. It was something different. Something no one had seen before. The object stopped above the water. It stayed still. It made no sound. It had no flag or markings. It looked smooth, like metal, but it glowed faintly. People stopped to look up. Some pointed. Others pulled out their phones to record it. Within minutes, the world saw it. News spread quickly. Every screen showed the strange object. Reporters guessed what it might be. Scientists made theories. Some people were afraid. Others were excited. But no one had answers. World leaders met in a global meeting. They talked all day and night. In the end, they made a plan. They would try to contact the object. A message was sent in every known language. There was no reply. After 3 days, the object opened. A soft blue light came from inside. Then it pulled a small ship toward it. No force was used. The ship floated. In slowly, it disappeared into the light. 4 people were on that ship. Logan, an engineer, was one of them. He had fixed machines since he was a child. He always stayed calm under pressure. Megan, a language expert, was also on the team. She could understand many languages and symbols. Kyle, a doctor, and Brooke, a scientist, joined them. They were chosen for their skills and their ability to work as a team. Inside the object, everything was quiet. The walls were silver and smooth. There were no buttons, no doors. But the ship moved on its own. It took them down a long path. Then it stopped in a large room. In that room stood many beings. Some had wings. Some had more than 2 arms. Some glowed with light. They came from many different places. They all looked at the humans. One being stepped forward. It had a tall body and glowing eyes. It did not speak with a mouth. The humans heard its voice in their minds. "You are humans," the voice said. "We are the assembly. We decide who may join." "Us," Logan stepped forward. "Why are we here?" "Because the galaxy is changing," the voice said. "Some believe you are ready. Others do not. You must prove yourselves." Megan asked, "How do we prove that?" "Through trials," the voice answered. "Tests of mind, heart, and action. If you pass, Earth will join the assembly. If you fail, we will leave and never return." The humans looked at each other. No one wanted to fail, but they knew they had to try. This was bigger than them. It was about the future of Earth. The beings around them watched silently. Then the floor opened below them. They floated down into another room. This one looked like a training ground. "Your first trial begins now," the voice said. In the center of the room was a machine. It blinked with lights. Symbols appeared on the wall. The humans had to understand them. Megan stepped forward. She looked closely at the symbols. She spoke softly. "This is a test of language. These signs mean danger. That one means stop, and this means open." She touched the right symbol. The machine beeped. A door opened. The voice returned. "You passed the first test." Next, they entered a room with moving walls. Sharp beams of light came from the ceiling. The floor moved under their feet. It was a test of teamwork. Logan led the group. He watched the lights and called out when to move. Brooke helped Kyle when he slipped. Megan found a safe path through the moving floor. They reached the end. No one was hurt. You passed the second test, the voice said. The final test came next. It was a dark room. They saw a child from another world crying in a corner. A large shadow moved nearby. It looked dangerous. Kyle moved first. He spoke to the child. Megan kept watch on the shadow. Logan picked up a tool from the floor and shined a light on the shadow. It stopped moving. Brooke took the child by the hand. They left the room. The shadow did not follow. You passed the final test, the voice said. You acted with care and courage. The humans were brought back to the main room. The beings of the assembly stood again. You are not perfect, the voice said, but you are ready to learn. Earth will have a place among us. A door opened. Outside, stars filled the sky. The humans stepped out and looked around. They were no longer just people from Earth. They were part of something bigger and far away. Something dark watched them. It did not like what it saw, but the humans did not fear it, because this was just the beginning. The room changed around them. The silver walls faded into something new. The team was no longer in a ship. They stood in the middle of a wide desert. The sun above was harsh. The sky was red. There was no wind, no sound, just heat and sand. Logan looked down. The sand felt real under his boots. He turned to Megan. She touched her arm, then the ground. This is not Earth, she said. It's a test, Logan replied. A voice came from the sky, not loud, but clear. This is your first test. You will find water. You have 6 hours. If you fail as one. The team nodded. No more words. They had to move. They walked across the sand. The heat pressed down on them. Kyle wiped his face. Brooke kept checking a small device in her hand. It showed nothing. There's no signal, she said. Nothing underground either. It's like this place isn't real. It doesn't matter, said Logan. We keep going. Hours passed. The sun did not move. The sky stayed red. Kyle's steps slowed. He had always worked in labs, not the outdoors. Megan stayed beside him. She gave him a cloth to cover his neck. I can keep going, Kyle said, breathing hard. We all will, Megan answered. Logan stopped. He knelt and picked up a dark rock. It was smooth and cold, unlike the sand. He looked around. There's a pattern here, he said. Look at the sand. It's shaped by something. Wind or maybe flow. You think there was water here? Brooke asked. There still might be, Logan said. He pointed toward a rise in the distance. Let's try that way. They climbed the small hill. On the other side, they saw cracks. In the ground, deep lines that curved like rivers. At the end of one crack was a patch of green. Plants, Megan said. That means water. They ran toward it. The patch was small, but the ground was damp. Brooke dropped to her knees. She dug quickly. Water began to fill the hole. We found it, she said. The voice returned. You worked together. You saw signs. You kept going. You pass. The desert vanished. They were back in the silver room. The beings watched them again. The one who had spoken before now stepped forward. You passed the test of the body. Now comes the test of the heart. The room shifted again. This time they were in a town. It looked like a small American town. Houses, streets, trees, but no people. Everything was still. A woman appeared. She looked human. Her eyes were sad. She pointed at a house. There is someone inside, she said. He needs help, but he does not want it. He will push you away. He will hurt you, but he is not evil. What will you do? The woman vanished. Kyle walked to the house. He knocked. No answer. He knocked again. The door opened a little. A voice shouted, "Go away." "We just want to help," Kyle said. "I don't want help," the voice said. "I want to be left alone." Logan stepped up. "We understand, but you are not alone." "Not really." A crash came from inside. Then silence. Megan opened the door slowly. A man sat in a chair. He looked lost, not angry. His eyes were wet. "I lost them," he said. "Everyone. My family. My team. I couldn't save them." No one spoke. Logan sat down beside him. "I know what it feels like," Logan said. "I lost people too. Not in war, in a flood. I couldn't stop it. I tried, but it happened anyway." The man looked at him. "How do you live with it?" "I build things," Logan said. "I try to fix what I can. I try to make sure others don't lose what I lost." Megan came forward. She took the man's hand. "You don't have to do it alone." The room went quiet. Then the man smiled. "Just a little. You pass," said the voice. The town faded. The team stood again in the silver chamber. The beings looked at them. This time, more of them nodded. "Double quotes to tests passed," said the lead being. "Now comes the last, the test of the mind." Logan looked at his team. No one seemed tired. They were ready. They had come far. They would go further. "Bring it on," said Megan, and the walls began to change again. The next day began in silence. The four humans woke inside a quiet room. It looked like a simple space, but it had no doors or windows. The walls glowed softly. Logan stood first. His legs felt sore, his arms heavy. He stretched and looked around. "What are we now?" he asked. The voice answered in their minds. "This is not a test of skill. This is a test of truth." The room changed. Walls melted into light. Now they stood in a hall full of alien beings. These were not the ones from before. These were older, more serious. Their eyes glowed. Their faces had no mouths. A figure stepped forward. Its skin was like glass. It raised one hand. "We do not trust your kind," it said. "Some of us believe humans are dangerous. You must answer for what your kind has done." Megan stepped forward. "Then ask us. We will answer." A beam of light appeared. A picture of war filled the air. Tanks rolled over cities. Bombs fell. People screamed. "Your people fight too often," the alien said. Kyle stepped forward. "Yes, we fought. We made mistakes. But we learned from them. That is why we are united now." The image changed. This time, it showed forests burning, oceans filled with trash, animals dying. "You harm your world," said another alien. Brooke stepped up. "We did, but we fixed it. We cleaned the oceans. We planted trees. We stopped what we started." More images came. Pain, fear, anger. "You spread quickly," another said. "You take, you do not give." Logan looked at the group. His face was calm. "You're right," he said. "We did many wrong things, but we changed. That is why we are here. Not to take, but to share, to grow." There was silence. Then a final image came. A man in a spacesuit holding a child's hand. They looked up at the stars together. "That was from Mars," Megan whispered. The aliens looked at the image, then at the humans. "You are not perfect, the first being said, but you have hope. That is rare. Suddenly, lights flashed red. A new voice spoke in the air. Warning, breach detected. The room shook. The aliens looked alarmed. A dark shadow moved across the far wall. A new group appeared. These were not part of the council. Their armor was sharp. Their eyes burned with anger. "We warned you," one of them shouted. "They do not belong here." One of the armored beings raised a weapon. It fired a pulse toward Logan. Without thinking, Brooke jumped in front. The blast hit her shoulder. She fell. Kyle pulled her back. Megan grabbed Logan and ran behind a pillar. More blasts came. The aliens began to flee. "We have to stop them," Logan said. Megan nodded. "But we have no weapons." "You don't need weapons," said the voice. "You only need courage." Logan picked up a metal rod from the floor. It was small, but strong. "We'll fight," he said. Together, the armored aliens moved in. Logan swung the rod and hit one in the leg. It fell. Kyle threw a broken chair at another. Megan used a sharp edge from the wall and blocked a strike. They were outmatched, but they did not stop. More council members arrived. Some carried bright tools. They fired beams that pushed the attackers back. The enemy leader growled, "This is your mistake. You brought humans here." He vanished in a flash of smoke. The others followed. The room became quiet again. The injured were helped. Brooke sat on the floor, holding her arm. She smiled. Weakly, "Not bad for a test," she said. The lead council member returned. "That was not part of the trial," he said. "But how you acted speaks louder than any words." The lights dimmed. A door opened. "Come," the voice said. "The council will decide your fate." Logan helped Brooke to her feet. Megan and Kyle walked beside them. They did not speak, but they all knew one thing. The final test had come. Asterisk title. The elders warned them. Humans are unstoppable. No one listened. Part 1. The sky was clear that morning. The sun rose slowly over the Pacific Ocean. People on the coast looked up and stopped talking. A shadow moved across the sky. It was not a cloud. It was huge, silent, smooth, something no one had seen before. The object stopped above the ocean. It did not speak. It did not move. News spread fast. Within minutes, every screen in the world showed the strange object. Some people were afraid. Some were curious. The world leaders called an emergency meeting. Earth was different now. After years of war and climate problems, people finally learned to work together. A global council now led the planet. There were no more borders. No more old governments. People had hope again, but this was something new, something from the stars. The Global Council sent a message to the object. There was no reply. The object stayed in place. Days passed. People waited. There were no attacks, no contact, just silence. The council decided to act. They chose a small team to go to the object. The best minds, the calmest people. Logan was one of them. He was an engineer. He built machines that helped clean the oceans. He did not talk much, but he always solved problems. Megan was also chosen. She was a linguist. She spoke many languages, even old ones. She had grown up alone and had seen hard times, but she was strong. She had a sharp mind and a strong heart. With them were Kyle, a doctor, and Brooke, a science officer. The four of them took a fast ship. It flew to the object above the ocean. As they got close, the object opened. A soft blue light pulled there. Ship in. There was no force, no danger, just light. Inside, it was quiet. The walls were smooth and silver. The team walked down a long path. Then they entered a wide room. It was full of beings. Not one kind, many. Some had wings, some had 3 eyes, some floated, some glowed. It was a council, not just one race. A whole group. One being stepped forward. Its voice was soft and clear, not in words, but in thought. The team could understand it. You are humans. We have watched you. We are the assembly. We choose which races may join us. Logan looked round. He saw the others watching them, judging them. Why are we here? He asked. To see if you are ready, the being said. You are strong, but you are also dangerous. Some say you should not be allowed. Others say you are what the galaxy needs. Megan stepped forward. Then let us show you. Let us speak for Earth. The being nodded. You will face tests. Tests of mind, heart, and body. If you pass, Earth will join us. If not, we will leave and never return. The team looked at each other. No one spoke, but in their eyes there was a quiet fire. They were ready. Outside the object, the world waited. No one knew what was happening inside. But for the first time, Earth had a chance to step into something greater, and the stars were watching. Part 2, ... Existing content unchanged. Part 4, the humans had passed the trials of skill and teamwork, but the assembly was still not sure. They needed one final test, not of strength or knowledge, but of heart. One morning, the assembly called them to the grand hall. The floor was dark glass. A single light shone from the ceiling. A tall figure from the assembly spoke. There is a planet on the edge of our system. A station there has stopped sending signals. We believe something has gone wrong. The people there need help. We ask you to go. This is not a test. There will be no score, no reward. This is a choice. Logan nodded. Then we choose to help. The humans took a fast ship and flew to the distant world. The journey was quiet. No one spoke much. They were ready. The station looked dark and broken. Part of it had collapsed. Smoke rose into the sky. They landed near the edge and walked into the dust. Inside, it was a mess. Wires hung from the ceiling. The walls were cracked. Megan scanned the area. There are life signs below, she said. They found a broken lift shaft and climbed down. The lower levels were worse. Fires had burned parts of the hall. The air was thick. But voices came from one of the deeper rooms. Kyle pushed open a door. Inside, a group of aliens sat together. They were scared and tired. Some were hurt. We're here to help, Kyle said. Brooke helped bandage a broken arm. Megan comforted a child. Logan cleared a path through the rubble. They worked fast, but careful. Suddenly, the ground shook. A second collapse hit the station. Logan pulled 2 aliens away from falling beams. Brooke shouted for help. We have to move now, she said. They carried the injured. They led the others through the dark halls. Kyle stayed behind for a moment to help one last worker who was trapped. He pulled the alien free just before the wall fell. They reached the exit. Smoke rose around them, but the ship was still there. The humans helped everyone on board and took off quickly. Back at the assembly, the grand hall was full. The rescued aliens had told their story. The assembly listened. The same tall figure stepped forward. You acted when no one asked you to. You gave help where others would not. You showed heart. He turned to the full council. Let us vote. One by one, the lights on the walls blinked green. The room glowed with soft color. The tall figure faced the humans again. Earth is now a member of the assembly. The room filled with quiet joy. Not loud, not wild, but full of meaning. But deep in the dark parts of space, a different voice whispered, "They have joined. Now we must prepare. There will be trouble." The humans did not hear the voice. They stood in the hall, proud and tired. They had done what few believed they could, and the real journey was just beginning. The days after the attack were quiet. The station was safe again, but the humans knew it would not stay that way forever. Logan sat near the wide glass window of the common room. Stars filled the sky. They looked peaceful, but he knew danger still waited somewhere out there. Megan joined him. She held 2 cups. She gave one to Logan and sat beside him. "We stopped them for now," she said. Logan nodded. "But they will come again. Maybe not tomorrow, but soon." Brooke and Kyle came in too. They looked tired. The last few days had been busy with meetings, plans, and new patrol systems. "The council wants to send us back to Earth for a while," Brooke said. "They think we need rest." "We do," Kyle said, rubbing his eyes. "But I don't know if I want to leave yet." None of them said more. They just watched the stars. The next morning, the council called them to the main chamber. The large hall was full, not just with council members, but with leaders from many worlds. Even some of the younger races came to watch. The lead council member stood at the center. He raised his hand and the room became quiet. "Today, we speak not just to one world," he said. "We speak to many. We speak of Earth and of the humans who came to us with hope." He looked at Logan and the others. They came not with demands, but with questions. They asked to join, not to rule. They faced trials of body, heart, and mind. They passed each one. They gave help when none was promised. They stopped a threat without hate. They did not break under fear. The council member stepped aside. Another leader spoke. "I was one of those who feared humans. I thought they would bring war. I thought they would spread like fire. But I saw what they did. I saw how they stood together. I see now I was wrong." One by one, others spoke. Some short, some long, some calm, some full of feeling. All of them pointed to one thing. The humans had earned their place. Finally, the vote was held. A tall screen lit up. The names of every world in the assembly appeared. Next to each name, a light blinked. Green for yes, red for no, yellow for unsure. The room watched in silence. The lights blinked green, one after another, fast, slow, then faster again. When the last name blinked green, the room filled with sound. Cheers, music. Lights above sparkled like stars. The council leader raised both hands. Earth is now a full member of the assembly. Equal in voice, equal in duty, equal in hope. Logan looked at Megan. She smiled. Kyle laughed softly. Brooke wiped a tear from her cheek and nodded. After the meeting, they walked through the station. Aliens they had never met before stopped them, shook their hands, or bowed. Some gave small gifts. Some just smiled. The humans felt something they had never felt before. They belonged. Later that night, Logan stood again by the window. The stars had not changed, but everything else had. He remembered the first day they arrived. The fear, the tests, the doubts. Now all of that was behind them. Megan joined him again. Do you think Earth is ready for this? He thought for a moment. We weren't, but we are learning. We've come far, she said. But we still have far to go, Logan replied. Brooke and Kyle entered the room. Kyle carried a tablet. Earth just sent a message, he said. The first school for alien studies opened in New York today. Brooke smiled. And a medical ship from Earth is leaving for the Edge colonies, full of doctors and supplies. Logan looked at them. Then it's starting. A new chapter, not just for us, but for everyone. Outside, far in the darkness, the ones who had watched and hated still whispered, but now they were fewer. And now they feared what they could not stop, because the humans were no longer alone. They were part of something greater, and they had only just begun. Weeks passed. Earth worked closely with other worlds now. Human engineers helped fix broken machines on far planets. Human doctors joined alien healers to treat the sick. Human teachers opened new schools. Logan, Megan, Kyle, and Brooke had become well known across the galaxy, but peace never lasted long. Strange things started to happen. Small colonies went silent. Ships vanished in deep space. Warnings came from far borders. Something was moving. In the dark again, the council called a meeting. The room was full. The tall alien who had welcomed Earth stood once more in front. We face a new threat, he said. The ones who attacked us before are back, stronger, faster, smarter. We believe they are planning a full strike. Whispers spread through the chamber. Some aliens looked scared. Others looked angry. We need to stand together, the alien continued. We cannot face them alone. Earth offered help right away. Logan stepped forward. Give us a task, he said. We will do our part. The council gave them a mission. A station near the border had gone silent. A message was sent from it, then nothing. The humans were told to find out what happened. They boarded a small ship. The journey was short but tense. No one spoke much. Each of them knew this could be dangerous. The station floated in space. It looked fine from the outside. No signs of damage. But no lights were on. No messages, just silence. They docked the ship and stepped inside. The lights were out. The air was cold. Logan turned on his torch. They moved slowly, checking each room. No signs of a fight, Kyle said. No blood, no damage, just ... empty. They reached the command room. Screens were off. Megan tried to start the main computer. The files are locked, she said. But this one's still open. She played a video. The screen showed a crew member looking into the camera. We found something, he said. It's not just ships anymore. They're using something else. It's in our systems. It got inside. Then the screen went black. Brooke stepped back. They found a way to hack stations, not just attack from the outside. They're inside our tech. Logan nodded. This is worse than before. Suddenly, the station lights flashed. A loud sound filled the air. The doors behind them slammed shut. They triggered something, Megan said. We need to move. They ran through the halls. Shadows moved in the dark. Machines came to life. Not all of them looked like machines anymore. Some walked like people. Some crawled on walls. Some floated with red eyes glowing. Brooke opened a path back to the ship. Kyle helped carry tools. Megan shot a small drone that flew toward them. They reached the ship. Logan started the engines. As they left, the station behind them turned fully dark again. Back at the council, they showed the video. They're not just ships anymore, Logan said. They use machines. They use fear. But they can be stopped. We need to act before they reach us. The council agreed. A new plan was made. Not just defense. A team would go into the enemy's space. Not to fight, but to understand, to learn. Logan and his team were asked to lead it. Are you sure? Brooke asked him. We've come this far, Logan said. We don't stop now. The mission was risky. Few had gone into enemy space before. Most never came back. But the humans were not like others. They prepared their ship with care. Megan updated the systems to block the hacks. Kyle packed supplies. Brooke studied enemy maps as they left. The station watched them go. The stars ahead were cold and still. They flew for hours. No sign of movement, just empty space. Then a shadow appeared. A large structure. It was not a ship. It looked like a nest, made from parts of other ships. A floating fortress. That's where they come from, Megan said. They moved closer. Strange signals hit their ship, but the shields held. They found a small way in. They entered slowly. Inside, it was quiet. Walls made of metal and wires. The lights blinked in strange colors. They found what looked like a control room. No crew, just machines. In the center, a glowing core. This must be the source, Brooke said. This controls everything. Logan stepped forward. He placed a small device on the core. If we take this, maybe we can learn how they think, he said. They took the device and ran back to the ship. As they flew away, the nest started to shake. We woke it up, Kyle said. Then let's move fast, Logan replied. They made it back to safe space. The council was waiting. Logan placed the device on the table. Now we know where they come from, and now we have a way to stop them. The council looked at each other. One by one, they nodded. The humans had once again gone into the dark and returned. With hope, the war was not over. But now the galaxy had a chance, because the humans had shown something the enemy could not understand. They never gave up.